like to thank the LBJ High School Mariachi Group under the direction of David Ortiz for their beautiful music this morning. And we'd also like you to notice in the back of the room there is Officer Mo. He's UISD's new police mascot. And Officer Mo is actually named after Mr. Molina, Officer Mo. Good morning, I'm Susan Carlson, UISD's Executive Director of Communications and Instructional Television. I would like to welcome all our guests here today with us and those who are joining us on our live stream. It's a very special day because United ISD is extremely proud to officially dedicate and name our beautiful new state-of-the-art middle school in memory of a most deserving man, Mr. Ricardo Molina Sr., who was our longest-serving UISD board member. So before we begin, please rise for the presentation of colors by the United South High School Marine Junior ROTC under the direction of Major Thomas Connor. This will be followed by the Star-Spangled Banner performed by Ruby de la Cruz, the Pledge of Allegiance performed by Araí Palapa, the Texas Pledge performed by Ricardo Molina III, and the Grizzly Affirmation recited by Austin Alfaro. Ruby de la Cruz will now sing the Star-Spangled Banner.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose bright stripes and bright stars through the perilous fights all the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, it gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does this star-spangled banner wave for the land of the free and the home of the brave.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state under God, one and indivisible.
I believe in myself and my intelligence. I will keep a growth mindset so that I could keep learning every day. My mistakes are learning opportunities so that my knowledge can continue growing. I will respect myself, others, and our school. I pledge to strive for excellence and make the commitment to make my school and the world a safer and better place to be, forever striving for a Grizzly legacy.
Thank you, students. You may be seated. At this time, I would like to introduce Mr. Jose Ortiz, youth pastor at the Grace Bible Church. He will do the invocation.
I just want to say it's a pleasure and an honor to be here today as the youth pastor of Grace Bible Church, because these are the students that I work with and love on every single day. And so I know that the commitment and the sacrifice and the service of the teachers, staff, administrators, the district, everybody coming alongside, it's all something that's very near and dear to my heart. So would you guys bow your heads with me in prayer? Heavenly Father, first and foremost, we come before you today to thank you. Lord, to thank you for the life of Mr. Molina, who for the last 26 plus years gave his life as a dedicated sacrifice to the students of El Cenizo, Rio Bravo, and Laredo to make sure that doors were opened, that opportunities were provided, Lord, and that through that legacy, Father, we stand here today in a school not only named after him, but a school that will continue to live that legacy on as well by serving students, by opening doors with educational opportunities, Father, and just by providing a space where they can be safe, be loved on, and learn and grow. Lord, we know that middle school is a challenging time in the lives of students, and I just pray first and foremost again for the teachers that are here today, for the administrators, for the staff, for everybody who will be walking alongside these students. I pray for wisdom, I pray for peace, I pray for patience, I pray for strength, Lord, because it is a challenge to love on these kids day in and day out, but the heart of these teachers, staff, and faculty members, the administrators that come alongside, God, their hearts are huge and they show the love that you have shown us. And I just pray for them. I pray for the students that as they walk through these doors, that their hearts and their minds are prepared to grow and learn, to shape the world in the future, Lord. And I pray, Father, that this building that you have provided, that this building that has been raised up here, Lord, be a central point in this community, that it be a place where people can come to gather together and celebrate many amazing accomplishments and achievements. Father, that it be a place that people can come to continue to invest in their future, and it be a place that people come back to once they're gone, Lord, to continue to invest in the people coming behind them, Lord. I pray, finally, Father, that you continue to bless this community in this area of our town. Lord, I pray that you bless this building and this district. God, just like you blessed all of us when you sent your son Jesus. Father, that blessing of the gospel that you've given us, that his selfless sacrifice, his service to us redeems us and restores us and brings us back to you. Lord, we love you, we worship you, we praise you, and we thank you, and we pray all of these things in your son's mighty, mighty name. Amen.
Thank you, Pastor. You may be seated. We are very honored to have everyone here with us today, and at this time I would like to introduce some special guests. Representing U.S. Congressman Henry Cuellar is Melissa Pena. Representing State Representative Tracy King is Lupita Cepeda. She's also the president of Laredo College Board of Trustees. Representing Sheriff Martin Cuellar is Mr. Rick Rodriguez. We have our Rio Bravo Commissioner, Amanda Agüero, here with us today. The Rio Bravo City Manager, Sergio Sanchez. Rio Bravo Judge, Rosie Cuellar. Webb County Clerk, Margie Ramirez Ibarra. Representing Commissioner Precinct 1, Jesse Gonzalez, is Jessica Ortiz. Justice of the Peace, Precinct 2, Place 1, Roberto Bobby Quintana. Justice of the Peace, Precinct 2, Place 2, Danny Dominguez. Constable for Precinct 1, Guadalupe Gomez. We have some of our attorneys here with us today. Stephen Troutman, Mario Castillo, Kenneth Valls, Paul Leindecker, who was the project contractor who built this beautiful school. Also from Leindecker Construction is Angel Garcia. From Alta Architectural Firm, Randy Hollis. Also architect Jesse Ruiz. We have with us here today our former UISD Superintendent, Mr. Roberto J. Santos. Some other elected officials, our board members, Mr. Ramiro Vélez III, UISD Board President. Mrs. Michelle Molina, Board Secretary, and Mr. Ricardo Molina's daughter-in-law. Our newest board member, Mr. Gilbert Aguilar, Jr. And Mr. Ricardo Rick Rodriguez, board member. Mr. Javier Montemayor, board member. Our UISD Superintendent of Schools, Mr. David H. Gonzalez. I would now like to invite all of our superintendent's administrative team to stand and be recognized. Mr. Alfredo Palapa, Ricardo Molina Middle School Principal. I'd like the Ricardo Molina Middle School administration and staff to please stand and be recognized. I'd now like to introduce members of the Molina family. Armando Molina. Michelle Molina, his wife and UISD board member. Ricardo Molina, Jr. His wife, Ileana Molina. Melissa Hinojosa, his daughter. Her husband, Marcelo Hinojosa. Unfortunately, due to a family emergency, Mr. Molina's son Nino and his wife Ruth were not able to attend today. I'd now like to introduce some of the grandchildren.
Gary Linedecker's here.
Ricardo Molina III, Victoria Molina, two other grandchildren, Camila Hinojosa and Marcelo Hinojosa. Mr. Molina's beautiful, beloved former wife of 45 years, Theodora Fox. And Gary Lindecker from our construction company is here also today. Right before Christmas, I remember coming to the school to meet with Mr. Molina to start planning his dedication ceremony. That day, we recorded a holiday message for the community with his grandson, Ricardo Molina III, who is a student here at this school. At that time, I could never have imagined that this would be Mr. Molina's last video, and it would be the last time that I would ever see him. That day, here at the school, we discussed and planned this dedication ceremony. Mr. Molina was so excited about the upcoming event. He told me that the reason he decided to wait and not have the dedication in the beginning of the school year was because he wanted to have the band, the cheer, and the dance teams perform at the dedication, and he wanted to be sure that they had their uniforms and had time to practice and were ready to perform and be showcased. The school's mariachi group had been practicing really hard, and that day they did a debut performance for Mr. Molina, which he just loved. They sounded great, and he was so very proud of their success. He also selected the grizzly bear as the school's mascot, as it represented strength. And he is even said to lovingly call his grandchildren his baby bears. Those who knew him said he was known as a man of integrity who would always fight for what he felt was right. He always gave back to his community and never expected any praise or acknowledgement. In fact, he wanted his dedication ceremony to be simple, but we beg to differ. I know we are all very sad that he did not live to be with us here today for this ceremony, but I think we can all feel his spirit and know that he is looking down from heaven today with that beautiful smile. He was so proud to have this state-of-the-art school named after him. I know he would be so happy to have so many friends and family here with him today to honor his legacy. Mr. Molina was born on May 20th, 1953. He was a proud graduate of Nixon High School's class of '74, and he served as the DECA president. He was also one of the founding residents of Rio Bravo in 1983, where he lived and served his community. Throughout his life, Mr. Molina worked in a variety of jobs. He tirelessly labored in the oil fields, machine shops, and cotton fields. He was quoted as saying, "I know what hard work is. To succeed, you have to make the best of your situation." He was last employed as the director of the Rio Bravo and El Cenizo community centers, which underscored his lifelong devotion to serving the community. Mr. Molina joined the UISD Board of Trustees in 1996 because he believed in public service. During his tenure, he helped initiate UISD's Dropout Recovery Program, which helps students attain their general equivalency diploma. Mr. Molina and the board also took action to increase security at all of our campuses. It was also important to him that we reduce gang involvement in our schools through the use of gang intervention facilitators. He also worked to employ licensed chemical dependency counselors in our schools to help fight drug use. Mr. Molina never wavered from his belief that his most important duty as a board member was keeping the interest of the community at the forefront. He once said, "You have to look out for the taxpayers, students, and people that you serve." Mr. Molina lived a life of service and dedication to our community, especially to the students of United ISD. It is for this reason that today we honor his legacy and dedicate Ricardo Molina Middle School in his memory. At this time, our board president, Mr. Ramiro Vélez III, would like to say a few words.
Thank you. Good morning. Welcome everybody to this dedication, an event of mixed emotions for a lot of us, sad but happy at the same time for me. Something that we had been looking forward to go ahead and complete for a while now. Sadly, as Mrs. Carlson mentioned, something that Mr. Molina wasn't a part of, but obviously he had a part in planning it and overseeing the things that we're going to showcase right now and all that. So it's a great honor for me to be here speaking about this great person, great man. He gave so much to our district. It's been mentioned that he's been our longest serving board member at over 26 years. So it's a great testament of dedication that he had to this community, to our district, and to our students over the years. During his tenure, he oversaw many changes. The greatest change, obviously, is the increase of our district size, the facilities, new schools. So he was part of all that. As mentioned right now, he was part of initiating a lot of the programs that we have in place today. And one of the main goals that he always had was having the students have the best learning environment that's available. So he was instrumental in initiating programs, creating the different schools. And in this school that we're dedicating today is a prime example of that. The schools that we've opened over the last several years are prime examples of that. These are state-of-the-art buildings. The best learning environment is the goal here, and I think we've achieved it. And I think he would be really happy as far as the results that we're seeing right now with the new schools, the new programs that we have in place. This new design maximizes that opportunities for our children, and it gives them the best learning environment. I think that's, at the end of the day, that's the ultimate goal that he always had. So again, I thank you for being here today. It's a great honor for him, and I think this is only a small part of his legacy over the 26 years that he served as a board member for our great district. Thank you very much again.
Thank you, Mr. Vélez. Next, I would like to call on our Superintendent of Schools, Mr. David H. Gonzalez.
Good morning, everybody, and thank you for being here on a very special morning for all of us that are here. For those of us that got the invitation, I will tell you that you're here because, first of all, God gave you the life today, but second of all, because Mr. Molina wanted you here. You know, Susan Carlson talked about sitting with her and going over the agenda, everything for this program, and Susan will tell you, he handpicked the people that are here invited. And if I had a couple of hours, I would tell you a story about each of you, all of you, because he always had words for you, Mr. Molina. Just going back a little bit, let me just share something with you all. Dedication itself is a time we dedicate a building for a purpose. And this building is dedicated after a man who spent 26 years of his life, has been mentioned, for students at UISD. With that said, I can tell you that the building itself will continue. And a lot of it is because of the work that was done by many, many people. The school, to start, we want to recognize our human resources department, our construction department, Enrique Rangel and his staff. As mentioned before, Line Construction, Randy Halls, Jesse Ruiz. There's a lot of people that were involved in a total team effort to make this possible. I'll be very brief. Mr. Palapa, you are the principal here, the instructional leader, Mr. Palapa. And Mr. Molina once told me, and you know this, he wanted you here, but were you his first choice? No. And Mr. Molina told him. But that was okay, because you're here because God wanted you to be here, Mr. Palapa. But Mr. Molina was a man that I admire very much. There's an old cliche, and somebody can say, he was a man of few words. That was not Mr. Molina. And those of us that got the phone call from him, once you got it, one of the first things you would look at is your clock. Okay, I'm gonna be with him for at least 40 minutes, minimum. And he said it the way it was, and he would not sugarcoat things. And I remember many times being on the phone with him, and I could sense his frustration about a topic, or I could sense his passion about something. And that's where his frustration came from. He was very, very passionate about doing things right for kids at UISD. He fought for our employees for better wages. And I will get an earful. There were times I go visit his house and he would let me know this is what he wanted to do. And it wasn't for self-interest, not for one moment. 2 days before his death, several of us went to his house. We had a little carne asada for him the week after Christmas. And I remember being with him and I was talking to him, and this is what he told me. Everybody's there with their carne and so forth. Y me dice, así me gusta que están todos. He never mentioned anything about himself. The carne asada was for him. But he said, así me gusta que estén todos. And everybody was happy. That's what Mr. Molina was about. He was about others, not about himself. One of the last things I want to share with you is, we're all very fond of this man, and I recognize the Board of Trustees for making a decision of naming this campus after him. Mr. Molina and I would have long conversations, and I would worry about him going to conferences or visiting him, and I would tell him, hey, no se coma eso, so I'm very diabetic, you can't eat that. And just, after him like a mother hen with him. But he would tell me something that sticks to me today. He would tell me, I don't want to live forever. And I would fight with him on that. He goes, yeah, but I don't want you to go. I don't want to live forever. Well, Mr. Molina, I know you can hear me. You are living forever now. Because the legacy of this school, with your name, with all the students that come in and out of this campus every single day, with all the employees that work here, through the leadership of Mr. Palapa, Mr. Molina, you are living forever. And he always told me, I don't want to live forever. Mr. Molina, you are living forever. God bless Mr. Molina. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Gonzalez. Ricardo Molina Middle School Principal Alfredo Palapa will now speak.
What Mr. Gonzalez said is true. I worked with Mr. Molina at Salvador Garcia for 5 years, and I was not expecting to move. But I know that, like he said, he would tell me straight up. He's like, Palapa, I like you, but you're my second favorite principal. Straight up. And I was like, sir, ¿quién es el primero? He told me, Delma Martinez, Kennedy Zapata. She's been with me longer. Straight out. So when the opportunity arose, like I said, I was with him. I felt his passion. I felt like I needed to be, at Rio Bravo, at Cenizo. I needed to be there, helping them. But when Mr. Molina and Mr. Gonzalez tell me, you gotta go here, you gotta go here, And so that's why I'm here today. With that said, I want to again say buenos dias, good morning to all of you. Good morning to our Board of Trustees, Mr. Gonzalez, Molina family, my Grizzly faculty and staff, my Grizzly admin. UIZ staff, my beautiful family too, Marcela, my beautiful daughter Maya. Coming from Austin, so I feel special. My two sons, Freddie and Edai, also thank you for joining us here today. Let me tell you a little bit about our school. We are a staff of 45 teachers, 65 staff members, and we service about 740 students, give or take a withdrawal or a transfer. We hover around there. And like Mr. Gonzalez said, the staffing I do need to recognize, and I do need to thank the work of Ms. Patty Gonzalez and Ms. Elsa Burrier. You know, they alleviated my anxiety. You know, because I was the first employee, right? I was the first employee, and so getting everybody here was a task. And so I do have to, you know, send a shout out to Ms. Patty Gonzalez and Elsa Burrier for helping that as well, and also Mr. Gonzalez in the HR department. Mentors. I'm gonna tell you, Mr. Molina was one of my mentors, and I never, expected that. It just happened. I learned a lot of things from him. UIZ has a mentoring program. We want to make sure our first-year teachers are successful. And without that mentoring program, you know what? We don't know if we would survive. We all need that support at the beginning. Success does not come alone. We all need that support. So I'm gonna tell you how I got to Mr. Molina at Rio Bravo in Salvador Garcia, but I want to share with you my UIZ journey. I was actually a founding staff member, teacher, alongside with Mr. Gonzalez at LBJ High School back in August 2001. 2001? Okay. And I'll be honest, there was times where I didn't think teaching was for me. I didn't, and that goes through, I think, as a first-year teacher, everybody goes through that. And I'm gonna tell you about my first mentor, Mr. David Gonzalez. This particular occasion, I remember that we always hear about the importance of leaders impacting teachers, students. We hear about the quotes, we read about the books, we read about being optimistic, all that. But Mr. Gonzalez lived it. And I got to see that, and I felt like that was part of the support that I needed at that time as a first-year teacher. I'll tell you about one occasion. So I was not having a good day. It was probably like, I remember I was off like 6th period, so I had gone through like 5 blocks already. And so I had gone through my blocks already. And so Mr. Gonzalez popped in, and I was just there, like sitting in my desk, and I think I must have had a look in my face, because maybe I was confounded thinking about whether or not teaching is for me. So I remember Mr. Gonzalez just popped in. He popped into my classroom. Mr. Palapa, hey, you're awesome. Teaching's gonna get better. You know what? That kind of support, that kind of attitude is what helped me get through. So that was my first mentor. Thank you very much, Mr. G. I loved LBJ. I loved it. I was there for 7 years. I left in 2007. From there, I went on to United South, where I stayed for 10 years, 2018 more or less. There, I met 2 other people that were also like mentors to me. I met Mr. David Canales, and I also met Mr. Rick Rodriguez there at United South. As an assistant principal, what I learned from Mr. Canales was to believe in myself, to have confidence in my decisions, and believe in myself, and to live with my decisions. I remember that as a second-year assistant principal, I would come in with my little notepad, and I would have like my little itemized 1 through 7, and I would make like little problems and solutions. So I came in and I was just like, you know, Mr. Canales, I have this thing going on, but I can do this. I have this, and I can do this. I have this, but I could do this. So I would just go through there, and Mr. Canales would just listen to me. So then one day, I remember Mr. Canales was sitting back, and he gave me this confused look. Like, como que no entendía, right? So it was like, he looked at me and told me, Alapa, you know the answers. Why do you ask? Have confidence in yourself. You know what? I said, okay, I want to, let's do it. And that just unleashed a new me. So I do want to thank Mr. Canales for that, because I learned about having the confidence in me. And destiny put us together at Salvador Garcia, and I continued learning there as well. So thank you very much. Mr. Rick Rodriguez. Mr. Rick would go often to United South High School. From him, what I learned is to make sure, as a boss, to make sure that your employees have what they need. At United South High School, I used to supervise security guards. There was a time that I used to supervise security guards. And my security guards, at the time, we needed a golf cart. It was like the world to us, a golf cart, because the school's big, so we needed to make sure that to provide safety, we needed to move around, and so the golf cart was a big deal to us. So in one particular ceremony, occasion, he stopped by, and he just said the magic words, "What do y'all need?" And I said, "Really? We need a golf cart." So with the permission of my principal, approval of the principal, my principal at the time is Adriana Ramirez, she approved it, Mr. Ray provided it, boom, we're so happy with that. But that event taught me that it's important to make sure that your employees have what they need to make sure they perform their job. And so, thank you very much, Rick, as well, and Mr. Canales. I left United South in 2018, and that's where I met Mr. Molina. Mr. Molina, man, he was, like they just mentioned, he was super humble, didn't want this attention, even though he deserves it, he didn't want it. He did so much for the mariachi program. He helped me start the mariachi program at Salvador. He helped start the mariachi program here. And by the way, he named the mariachi here, Mariachi Esmeralda. And a fun fact, you'll know that one of the songs that they will perform, Cariño, used to make him tear. I saw him here in December when we brought him over, and make him tear because se acordaba de su amor, Miss Fox. He would tell me, "Hey, ¿cómo está? Mándame fotos." He would tell me, "Mándame fotos." And I'll show you the text later on, Miss Fox. I haven't shown you. But going back to his humbleness, I would tell him, "Sir, we're going to have a performance. ¿Va a haber gente?" "Yes, Mr. Molina, va a haber gente. No quiero ir." "¿Me los puedes traer a la casa?" Okay. So we would bring the mariachi to his house because he didn't really care for, to be that recognized. I just wanted to listen to the mariachi. And so we would do that. Fast forward to Molina, right? So we started the mariachi. It was ready to perform in December 22, and I didn't think that was going to be the last time we'd see him here. "Mr. Molina, we're ready, mariachi's ready. ¿Puedo ir por usted? ¿Va a haber gente?" "Yes, mucha gente va a estar en el set." No quiero ir." "¿No puedes hacer algo chiquillo ahí en la escuela?" "Yeah, well, we could do something for you. So we organized a performance here at the cafeteria for him." So that was the humbleness that I remember from him, the humbleness from Mr. Molina. The other item, and he told me many things, and like they just mentioned, he was honest. Like Mr. Gonzalez just mentioned, he was super honest. I'll tell you the one that sticks out the most to me, though, and it's because I don't know why. Maybe it's the recent one. But in December 22, we were here waiting for the mariachi. So we were sitting in his chair looking at me. And then he just tells me, Palapa, ¿estás engordando, vea? And I was like, he caught me off guard, you know? I was like, un poquito, sir? Un poquito. And then he told me, ¿tienes que bajarle? ¿Tienes que bajarle? I was like, you know, I didn't feel insulted. I just understood that he wanted for me to take care of my health, and maybe because of his experience with health, and he wanted me to make sure that que le bajara. So that's the one that sticks out the most. He gave honest criticism, and I would hear him like say, you know what, I ran into this person, y le dije esto. ¿Y por qué le dijo eso? Porque es la verdad. You know, and that was the type of person he was. Porque es la verdad. We mentioned the grizzly, and I do see his spirit as the spirit of a grizzly, strong, courageous, standing up for his beliefs. But at the same time, I know, because he told me that he thought of the bears because of his beloved grandchildren, Ricky Bear and Amanda Bear, and you know, he told me that, and so it just, yes, the spirit of the grizzly strength, but also at the same time to have the love for the family. That's also what Mr. Molina taught me. Last but not least, I think this is something that defined him. He chose to work at the community center. He chose to live in Rio Bravo. He could have moved. He chose to be there. He wanted to be the voice for the people he thought needed him the most. He wanted to be there. He chose to be there because he thought that's where he was needed. To be a humanitarian, that's what I saw from him. You know, to give whatever it takes, blankets, food, whatever. He was willing to help anybody. And so, to be a humanitarian, that's what I learned from him. It was a pleasure knowing Mr. Molina, and I thank the Molina family. Thank you, Mando, Michelle, Ricky, Juliana, Melissa, Miss Fox. It's like my second mom here. Thank you all for allowing me to be a part of it. It's beautiful. One of his last gifts to us, it's these green shirts. These are the green shirts. These are the last gift to our school and to all of us via Leyendecker, of course, Mr. Paul Leyendecker, thank you very much. So he tells me this, Mr. Palapa, dile a Leyendecker que quieres camisas. Okay. So I make an order. I have a staff for 100. No, pide más, para que le demos a más. Okay. So I did, and so this is the last gift that we received from him. I want to end it with a couple of quotes. In the spirit of Dr. Seuss says, "Don't cry because it's over. Smile because it happened." You know, and I live that. Also, Alfred Lord Tennyson says in another one, "It's better to have loved and lost than never to have loved at all." So these are two quotes that will forever remind me of him. And the school is a testament to his legacy, and he very much deserves this. And know that he's watching us all the time. He deserves this. Thank you all very much. Have a great day.
Thank you, Mr. Palapa. Michelle Molina will now introduce Mr. Molina's beloved son, Armando Molina, who will reflect on his father's legacy.
Good morning, everyone. First and foremost, I want to thank every department within the school district that made today possible. There was a lot of hard work. We saw the behind the scenes of everyone working really hard to be able to produce all the little details on every table that we have in this beautiful gymnasium. So thank you very much. Please give them a round of applause. Thank you. It's an honor and a privilege to introduce my husband, Armando Molina. He is Mr. Molina's son. He was his best friend. He was his go-to campaign treasurer, campaign manager, his everything. And it brings me great pleasure to introduce my husband, Armando Molina.
First of all, I want to thank everybody for being here on behalf of the Molina family, on behalf of my brother Ricardo, my brother Nino, Melissa, and my mom, and all my tia, Polly, that's here with us from Corpus, and my primos, and Adrian and Javi. I want to say thank you for everybody's here as a family, and the extended family, right, the United family, which my dad, would speak mostly about, and you'd call him, it was more like, ¿Cómo está United? ¿Cómo está la familia? And so that was always his thing. I do want to make note about the bookmarker that we saw here in the front. I thought it was really, really something special. It says, advice from Grizzly, AKA Ricardo Molina. And it says, stand your ground, shift your opportunities, use your strength, live large, cherish the wilderness, and know when to slow down. So I really feel that reflects upon my dad and the way he lived his life. He did live large, he did slow down, he did appreciate the little things, and I do want to say thank you to everybody who made this possible today, because the details do matter, and you can see it, and all the hard work that was put in from the administration, the staff, and everybody to make this possible. I do want to thank everybody who made time in their schedules to be here and to share this moment with our family. I wanted to start off, and I had a little something to say about my dad, and I'm a procrastinator by nature, right? So last night I sat down and I typed something out real quick, and I found myself crying through it, and I said, you know what, I'm just gonna go through it, and I just wrote little bullets. And so I started off with, my dad, the champion. And when you talk about somebody who's a champion, because he used that word a lot, he would say that, his grandkids were his champions, that we were his champions, and that United was a champion, that it was the best district in Laredo and in Texas. He was very proud to be called a champion. And the day that he passed away, LMT posted an article, and the title of it, when I saw it, made me cry. It said, an education champion, which was something that was very special. So when we talk about a champion is someone who fights or argues for a cause on behalf of someone else. And that was my dad. He fought on behalf of everybody. That was his thing. He always wanted what was best for everybody. We talk about the Molina legacy and the Grizzly legacy, and we look at having the honor, having the namesake of Ricardo Middle School being a great honor for him and for our family. I want to thank the UISD School Board and the school family that made this day and this naming, this honor that will live on forever possible. Thank you. I want to say that his legacy also shows that he was really a humble, a compassionate, and a driven person. He loved that being Grizzly, fierce, and leave a legacy. I think that for him, his legacy was that he was relentless and he never gave up. You would never see him in a foul mood or bad mood or make excuses for circumstances that he had in his life. He went through a lot of medical issues at the end, but he was always up and about and with a smile and positive attitude. And he gave you inspiration to say, you know what? I want to be that tough. I want to have that kind of fortitude, and I want to be that relentless if something happens to me, so I can continue to move forward. And his spirit, he was a Grizzly, so I like that. So, when we talk about being a champion, he was also a family champion. He was a great son. He loved his mom, his dad. He was a great brother. He loved his sisters and his brothers as well. He was a great father. He loved us, our kids. He treated us well. Nunca nos faltó nada. We always had everything we needed to move forward. And he was very proud of all of us. And he was a great grandfather. He loved his grandkids. He loved them all. He was married for 45 years. He would not have done it without my mom. I would say that in front of him. And I know he's listening to us. And even after they were not married, they still stayed together. I know he'd call my mom his girlfriend, but he was a funny guy. He always, he did what he thought was best. And then he was, somebody who was always there for family. And my mom, I do want to mention that, and I said he wouldn't do it without her. He was there with her. She was there with him from the very beginning to the end. So I say thank you to my mom. And we look at a career champion, right? What did he do other than being on the school board? Because you don't get paid to be on the school board, right? So he was a accounting fielder, oil worker, we said that, right? He worked with his hands. He was a truck driver. But I don't know if you all know this, but he was also the owner and founder of Molina sound system, where we used to DJ for years, parties together, me and my dad. He would sit there and he pon esta. And it's like, nobody wants to hear chotizas and podcast. Tú ponla. Like, okay, Dad. Ya los pagaron. I was like, okay. So, and so my dad loved the music. He loved listening to music. He loved listening to mariachi. And I want to thank the school for having the mariachi play Cariño for him and having this presentation for us today as well. He was also the director of Rio Bravo and Cenizo Community Centers, where it underscored his lifelong devotion to serving the community. I want to give thanks to the Webb County Commissioner's Court and the judge and everybody who approved through Jesse Gonzalez, our commissioner, that we're going to have a facility named in Rio Bravo, the community center, after Ricardo Molina. And I want to give thanks to the commissioner for that. So that's another honor that's coming up. Also, I would like to think of my dad as the people's champion, right? Because my dad was always, where we would see him, especially later on in life when he was sitting outside HEB, man, he had a way of just carrying conversations and listening to people and saying, what is it that you need? Okay, this is how I'm going to help you. And I kind of like it because he had that kind of, that saying was, no me preguntaste por te voy a decir, kind of thing, so he would give you that advice, and he would always champion to see if there was any injustice or anything that he needed to do that he could help within his means. And I saw that they quoted him when they did the first article here. He said that there's nothing too good for our kids, so I always want to do more. And I think that in life and everybody here, there's always room for us to do more, to improve, and to make things better, and to live that as part of the legacy. And always put, the children first was always very important to him. And if you knew my dad, he was a man of his word, un señor de su palabra. He wouldn't, if he would tell you he was going to do something, he would do it. And that is something that I have really taken in, to have that integrity as a person, to be alguien de palabra, and he would always, like Mr. Palapa say, mentor. One of the biggest things he would say to me is listen, because I like to talk. So, and listening to him and being with him, I got to learn that relationships are important, people are important, because people are what's going to hold everybody together, and we can't do it alone. We all need each other, a todos se los ofrece, and we all need to work together for the good of everybody. Again, he was an education champion. He was from 1996, longest serving board member. Very proud of that, and he would say, I've never lost mi hijo. And he was ready to run again. He was ready to go. He impacted the lives of thousands of students, teachers, and parents over the years that he served. 26 years, and the different thousands of students that would go by United ISD every year, he made an impact in their lives. I'm sure he came out in a lot of graduation pictures, so it's going to be, he's there with somebody's living room or on somebody's mantle. He also said that great leaders would come from here. He believed that. He believed that, we as a community, as a district, as the school was going to do the best for the students to be successful. He always said, look up for support and don't look down at the past, always move forward. and do all you can in all the ways you can to help everybody that you can. If he was here today, I know that he would like to thank everybody that made this possible. I know he had a long-lasting relationship with Mr. Santos. I want to say thank you to him. I know that my dad, throughout the years, really shares everybody, all the superintendents, Mr. David Gonzalez, Mr. Mike Garza, everybody that worked with him, especially all the board members, Mr. Ricky Rodriguez, who's been there the longest with him, Mr. Vélez, and also Mr. Aguilar, who's taken the reins there in the South, that will follow that tradition of doing what's best for that community. And he was also very proud of my wife, Michelle, and he wanted her to continue in his legacy in case he wasn't going to run, to show those values and that give that support to the people that say, you know what, we're here for you. We are a public servant. We are here for the needs of the community, the kids, the teachers, the staff, and again, nothing's too good for them. And so my wife will do the best she can, and through us and through our family, to represent the Molina name on the UISD School Board. I end by saying the students will know that my dad was a champion, not because they know him and they wear the Molina, but they would reflect and they would have to keep that Grizzly spirit. When they hear that, they would have to say, well, Molina had to have been somebody who was worth having this honor. That was, why do I have Molina? And so I understand that because I work at a school as well, Cigarroa Middle School, and my kids, you ask them who's Cigarroa, they don't know who Dr. Joaquin was, but they know that he was a great man. He did a lot for the community, and he was somebody that deserved the honor. And I know that his name will live on forever, and people will be proud to have his name, Molina. It's my family name, and I'm very proud. And I want to say thank you to everybody here, again, for all that you do for the students, all the public officials, all that you do for the community, all the teachers and staff, and all the relentless work that you do, all the directors. Thank you. On behalf of my family, on behalf of my mom, muchas gracias. Thank you so much for being here and being a part of this moment for my dad, in which he's not here with us today, but I know he's watching us from above. So thank you all, and God bless you. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Michelle and Armando. Well, we will not be giving actual tours of the school today, but instead we would like to give you a virtual tour of this beautiful new state-of-the-art campus. We have a short video that we'd like to show you at this time. United Independent School District's newest state-of-the-art middle school is named after UISD's longest-serving board member, Ricardo Molina Sr. The campus opened its doors in August 2022. The school is located at the intersection of Vientos Road and Bianca Road within the Cuatro Vientos Sur subdivision, west of Bob Bullock Loop. The two-story building measures over 111,000 square feet and was built to accommodate 1,000 students. The two-story building is organized around a central mall with a wraparound classroom wing on one side and the major school assembly spaces on the other. There is a central staircase in the mall area and secondary stairs in the classroom wings, plus an elevator for accessibility. The school has 27 classrooms, 4 science labs, 2 computer labs, 2 special education classrooms, an art classroom, and a STEM lab, which are all fully networked. A fine arts wing has a band hall, an ensemble room, a rehearsal room, and 5 practice rooms with special acoustical treatments. The school library is situated at the front of the school and features natural lighting. A 10,340 square foot gymnasium with a maple wood floor has bleacher seating, dressing rooms, locker rooms, and a weight room. The on-site kitchen and cafeteria features indoor and outdoor seating areas, and a raised platform stage for special events. Safety is always a priority at UISD, and the school's main entrance features a security station manned by a district police officer to monitor traffic into the building at a secure entry vestibule, which includes a metal detector. Along with the internal police station, the building is equipped with camera surveillance capability. The school's main entrance and other limited exterior doors are equipped with card reader access controls, where employees need to swipe district-issued access control cards to gain entry into the building. The school is completely constructed of 100% masonry block veneer and load-bearing concrete construction for durability and minimum maintenance, and is topped with an all-standing seam metal roof. For durability, all corridors and major assembly rooms have porcelain tile floors. The classrooms have vinyl tile, and all interior walls are painted concrete block. The air conditioning system has energy-efficient controls, allowing the building to be controlled by zones, and classroom windows can be opened if desired. As a cost-saving measure, the interior and exterior of the building utilizes energy-efficient LED lighting, which produces less heat, uses less energy, while providing more light. This allows for longer bulb life compared to traditional lighting. The school provides 210 parking spaces in the staff and visitor parking lots. The building is circled by bus and car loops with canopies for parent and bus drop-off areas. On-site is a football soccer practice field, a future baseball practice field, and an area for future outdoor basketball courts. United ISD's newest school provides middle school students who live in the area with a safe, state-of-the-art campus. The school is equipped with everything students need to ensure their academic success. Parents and students alike can be proud and very impressed with UISD's new Ricardo Molina Middle School. At this time, I know some of our elected officials have some tokens of appreciation they would like to present to the Molina family. Representing U.S. Congressman Henry Cuellar is Melissa Pena, who would like to make a special presentation. Armando Molina and Michelle, would you like to come up and accept it? I believe it's a flag that was actually flown over the U.S. Capitol in Washington, D.C. And Ricardo also, and his wife Ruth, would you please come forward? And Mrs. Molina Fox? Melissa and her husband Marcelo? Grandchildren? And don't leave yet, we have a couple more gifts. Rio Bravo Commissioner Amanda Agüero has something that she would like to present to you. This is from the city of Rio Bravo. We have a couple more gifts for the family. Superintendent Gonzalez and board members Ramiro Vélez and Michelle Molina, please step forward to unveil and present a memory box for the Molina family. And we can take a couple more pictures with the whole family before we give away the last gift. And I believe that Principal Alfredo Palapa has a special presentation for the Molina family. Thank you.
Thank you.
We have one more gift representing Texas Representative Tracy King is Lupita Cepeda, and she has a special presentation. Thank you very much. I believe that's all the gifts for now. Thank you, everyone.
I know that we always leave people out, but I do want to give a big special thank to Mike Barron and to Mr. Aranda and to Aaron Salazar, who are always there for my dad at the end, you know, helping him with the meetings and everything, and really being there for him every day. So Mr. Barron, Mr. Cavazos, Mr. Aranda, Mike Barron, Aaron, Chief, thank you.
And I believe the flag given by Tracy King was flown over the state capitol. Yes, it was. Well, Mr. Molina was very proud of the many talented students who attend this school, and as I previously mentioned, it was very important to him to showcase these students. The Sparkling Emeralds dance team, under the direction of Marisol Rodriguez, at this time will perform a special dance routine. Thank you, ladies. And that was the Sparkling Emeralds dance team under the direction of Marisol Rodriguez. Thank you, ladies. And now, the Grizzly Cheerleaders, under the direction of Daisy Pena, have been practicing a special cheer they would like to perform for you today.
We are the
Thank you, ladies, the Grizzly cheerleaders under the direction of Daisy Pena. And finally, the Esmeralda Mariachi Group, under the direction of Gabriel Rodriguez, would like to perform some songs that they previously debuted for Mr. Molina, which he loved so much.
They are the first year of election here, and a lot of them have not played an instrument performed live or have their music. They have come such a long way since September, and I'm extremely proud of them. Especially this week, we were learning about peace on that knows will fit for you last, but that is a hard piece for them to learn, and they pulled it off. I'm so proud of them. We're being our program is so brilliant. is entitled Camino. This is one of the statistics. We played this for him last semester before our Christmas concert, and I'm just so blessed to have him. He shared it with us today, and I'm just hoping that we can share some experience with you and continue this legacy of this wonderful brother that's going to be this year. This last piece is entitled Molina. This was a challenge, so I it was a little challenge, and the lyrics are so beautiful. I will be sharing this experience of longing, but there also being lots of beauty in that. So this is a moment.
Just beautiful, so talented. Again, that was the Esmeralda Mariachi Group under the direction of Gabriel Rodriguez. At this time, we'll have the official ribbon cutting portion of the dedication ceremony. Would the entire Molina family members please step forward along with our superintendent, our management team, our elected officials, our board members. Please step forward and we'll have our ribbon cutting ceremony. Oh, aren't they nice? Of course, we've got a lot more. Definitely. Yeah. And Officer Mo is here too. And our attorney. Our attorneys, would you please step forward also, our UISD attorneys? On the count of 3, we'll cut the ribbon. Okay? 1, 2, 3. And as you probably guessed, that was the school's fight song. And again, the band is under the direction of Gabriel Rodriguez. This concludes our ceremony. We thank you for joining us today to honor United ISD's longest-serving board member, Ricardo Molina. His legacy will live on through the many students who will walk these halls, receive an excellent education, and become productive citizens of our community. We know this thought would have made Mr. Molina very proud, and United ISD is extremely proud that this school bears his name and is a testament to his legacy. Again, we thank you for joining us today, and don't forget to have your picture taken with the school's grizzly mascot on the way out. We'll give you a copy of the picture.
I'd like this opportunity to thank Susan Carlson and the communication team, ITV, technology, the middle school staff, Ms. Chavez back there, Corate Gonzalez, all the work you all did. Thank you so much for making this a successful event. Have a great day. Thank you.